Hello, everyone. So today we have with us Dr. Aswin Alora, an ex-professor at Christ and currently at IIM Kozhikode. Can we have you on this show? Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So how are you?
I'm on all good.
Okay. So could you please take us through your academic and professional journey?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, let me thank you for having me here. And technically speaking, this is my first interview, very first interview. Uh, I mean, whether it's a media platform or an online platform. So thank you for this opportunity. Now, as far as the academic career is concerned, so I did my schooling from government schools in Kerala. So after my 10th standard, I mean, as everybody, right? It's a choice between the medicines and the engineering at that point of time. So, since I was afraid with the blood and surgeries, medicine was not an option. Then it's the engineering. I had a lot of friends who were unemployed after taking the right engineering courses. So I thought then the next better option would be commerce. Because even during my childhood, I was always right, interested in the idea of money and finance. So somehow I took the courage to opt for commerce, which now I realize was one of the best decisions of my life. So after my 11th and 12th, again, generally I took a graduation program, which was BCom in business finance. So during my business finance program at Fresh Genesis College in Kerala, so I came to know about some post-graduation courses at Pondicherry Central University through one of my classmates.
Okay.
So even at that point of time, I was actually reluctant to go and take up a course in Pondicherry University mainly because I have never stayed out of my hometown. That was the first time, right? So again, some of my friends and parents convinced me to go outside of our own uh, hometown and take up that course.
I think that's the main driving force for any student out here.
Yeah, initial days it was kind of a really a problematic situation for me. It was out of your home, out of right, sight of your parents. But again, after some time, I got used to the system. Got a lot of friends. Now, as I said, I did my schooling in government schools till 10th standard. So one of the obvious problems which I was facing was the communication problems. And again, schools in Kerala, right? Now, when I went to Pondicherry University, again, right, one of the good thing happened was with respect to communication skills because there was no other option. Students from Northeast, students from North India, and again, right, I was really weak in Hindi, so the best option for me to was me to right to improve my English. So not just about the communication skill, again, how to do networking with people, how to say uh, take up the leadership role. I've learned a lot of things from Pondicherry Central University. That was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. It was actually during my master's program, I realized that even for commerce students, we can pursue courses from IITs and IIMs, especially with respect to the doctoral programs. So one of my faculties actually did this PhD program from IIT Madras. So then I also realized that I can also maybe look for such avenues. And that's how I applied for a PhD program in IIT Roorkee. Somehow, I don't know, somehow I actually got the offer letter from IIT Roorkee towards the end of my master's program. So again, from the extreme south to extreme
Extreme
north, it
north.
was in Uttarakhand. So again, another, right, say, kind of a devastating decision which I had to take at that point of time. But again, somehow, I thought again, right, why not? Because the exposure which I got from the Pondicherry University gave me the courage to go for that doctoral program. Which again, so after my doctoral program from IIT Roorkee, it was actually I took around 4.5 years to complete that program. Then I started applying for job as usual. My initial choice was again into the academics. So that's how I joined at Christ University here as an assistant professor. But I don't know, fortunate or unfortunate, the classes were happening online more.
Yeah.
in 2021. Somehow, I think I missed the opportunity to interact with the students in the classroom section. Uh, then, actually, it was during that point of time I got the offer letter from IAM Jammu to be a assistant professor there. So again, I resigned from Christ University and took up that role. Then again from there, I got another switch to IAM Kozhikode, which is again close to my hometown.
Yeah.
So now currently I'm right standing here as an assistant professor in IAM Kozhikode. And again, but see, happy to be back to Christ University after 1.5 years. Now I can see the vibrant and colorful campus again. So that's really great.
Thank you so much.
So that's about my academic and the career path which I've come across.
So, what made you choose teaching as a profession?
Okay, so that's kind of an interesting question, Rushi. Of course, there are obvious reasons, but to answer this question, I love the fact that being a teacher, you can enjoy your student life forever, right? So whenever I talk with my all the classmates, they say that they miss their campus life, but I don't miss my campus life. Why? Because being a faculty, being an academician, I'm still enjoying my student life, and I can do so till my last breath. So that is one of the I would say that one of the motivational factors which I took up the role of a faculty. And also, if you look right, which other profession offers the kind of academic freedom, the respect, maybe the salary too, right?
After it
When
all
you
comes
compare with
down to a figure.
academicians, right? So obviously, right? These are all the reasons why what I can see, right? Being a faculty.
So, we have a couple of students from NCOM today who have really great questions for you as well.
Yeah.
So, we'll go ahead with their questions as well.
Yeah.
So I'm studying MCOM right wing. So as you know, we have research in our curriculum. So how important do you think research is in academics? Because I think most of the colleges don't have research.
Okay. Okay. So how important is research in academics,
Mm.
right? You're asking this question
Yes.
from the faculty's point of view or as an education institution
Mm,
point of view?
how much different would be from and to?
I'll talk to
Okay.
the academics point of view in
Okay.
general. Now, see, teaching is also important. Research is also important.
Mm.
Now, in these days, in the recent past, a lot of institutions are giving a lot of importance to research. One of the main factors being the ranking,
Mm.
be it NIR or being be it, right in any other ranking criteria, research plays a vital role. Now, understand, we know that in a classroom we have students with different potential. Some will be studious, right? Maybe like Swati, people are studious. But there are students, there were students like me who are right, maybe right, interested in some other stuff, not too much into studying. Similarly, there are naughty students, there are students into sports, music, arts, whatever. So similarly, when it comes to the life of teachers, some are really interested in teaching, some are really interested in doing research, some are interested in doing both. Now we know people such as be it our right, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam or Sarvipalli, right, Radhakrishnan. They were all greatest teachers. Now what I'm trying to say is that as an education institution, they have to understand that if faculty are really interested in research, if they are interested in research, let them do it with their full potential. If somebody is really interested in teaching, maybe right, the education institutions should try to give a lot of importance for.
Yes.
I mean, what I'm trying to say is that try not to impose too much of research if they are not interested in doing research or for the sake of doing research, because it will eventually affect the quality of research publications and everything. So just merely to get a good ranking, no need to impose a lot of research target on the faculties. If somebody is interested in teaching, let them do it and explore a lot of, because we need good teachers as well. We need good research works also for the progress of our country. There is no question of that. But again, somehow we are actually right mixing both for the sake of getting good rank. So that's my view of right, teaching versus research.
Coming to the so thinking about research, I think I've been going this problem very personally about how to search the topic for the research.
How do I understand a research problem? Right?
Yes,
What do I search for?
because everything looks to a problem to me right now, but I don't think everything goes into a research.
See, my advice would be right for this question would be to stop searching for research questions. So when you just step out of this campus
Hmm.
and start observing, you can find hundreds of research
Hmm.
problems. Now, personally speaking, about my PhD thesis. Now, when I was completing my post graduation from Pondicherry Central University, I don't know, you are from Tamil Nadu, right?
Yes, sir.
Chennai.
Yes, sir.
So it was actually the time of Chennai floods. I was reading the newspapers. I was also volunteering in some programs during that point of
Hmm.
time. So in almost all the newspapers, the news were coming that a lot of corporates, the companies,
Hmm.
are facing supply chain disruptions. I remember Royal Enfield, due to Chennai floods, experienced a delay in production of around 11,000 motorcycles. I was always a curious student. So I thought, what would be the implication of this kind of delay, supply chain disruptions on the financials of the companies? That's a research problem, right? So I wanted to take up that for my
Hmm.
research work. So that's how I did my right. I identified my problem and started my
Hmm.
research adventure. I'm here in Bangalore for last 2 days. So yesterday I went to this Nexus Mall, previously this
Forum.
Forum Mall. I was in my night dress, just right, all trousers and one jogging t-shirt, which is not a branded one. I went to one of the famous uh, apparel brands at the Nexus Mall. So I wanted to try out a white formal shirt from their brand. I asked salesman, "Can I do that?"
Hmm.
So somehow I don't know what was the perception in his mind. He refused me to offer that right, facility to me. Maybe right. He thought that I was not a serious customer, or I don't know what. I'm actually a regular customer of that brand, not from Bangalore, but I purchased it
Hmm.
from Kerala. I did not question. I thought, okay, fine, right, what I can do. Now that struck me another research question in my mind. Is there any relationship between right, the, the apparel or how a customer looks right when they enter into a shop versus the attitude of the salesperson? Is there any relationship? Maybe, right?
Hmm.
It's a problem with the human resource related studies. So this is how you actually right start exploring research problems.
Yes.
There are problems,
Yes.
and we need researchers like you to explore and answer to those questions. And unless and until we do that, right, we will not progress as a
Yes.
country. So there are a lot of problems in the society. Just that we need to open our eyes and right,
Look into this.
look into them. So you will
Yes.
understand. What I-
Okay, sir. I have one more friend who has some other question.
Yeah,
So
sure.
let's.
So, another question would be that what do you do in your free time?
Okay. So free time, right? It doesn't matter whether it's free time when I'm bored or when I'm fed up with something or when I'm sad, when I am happy. Mainly two things to do. One is I like motorcycle riding. I do a lot of motorcycle riding in this kind of situations. So that gives me a lot of energy, positive vibes, a lot of experiences. Secondly, I love cooking. Not normal cooking. If I see something, right, some recipe on the YouTube, I
Yeah,
want to do it in my own way. I'll do some more experiments. Mostly it fails, but again, try. So I do
experimentation.
experiments. So yeah, motorcycles and cooking. Yeah, sometimes films too. So this is how I actually.
Okay, so we have one more question aligned to this one.
Yeah.
So, how do you balance your time between your job, your personal interest, and we have got to know about your successful YouTube channel as well.
Um, See, as far as the balance between the personal time and the job, I never experienced a need to balance something like that. And if I'm doing a job, I always do things which interest me. I mean, my work never interfered in my motorcycle rides. It's all part of my life. So I never thought that I should have a dedicated time for this or that. Whenever I feel to do something, then I do it if it's of personal interest to me. So I never faced this issue. Now, as far as the YouTube channel, I don't know whether it's been as successful or not, but again, it was actually an interesting journey. I started my YouTube channel when I was doing my PhD course. So PhD, right? Mostly it's boring stuff. There should be some interesting. And it was actually at that point of time, a lot of people were falling prey to a lot of financial crimes in Kerala. So I thought I'm doing PhD in finance, so I should do something to the society. A lot of people are losing money because of these scammers. So that's how I started this financial channel with my own name, and I could actually deliver a lot of content. I don't know what extent it actually helps the society, but again, I believe that a lot of people are getting benefited because it's finally a free content, which I'm doing with most
Exactly.
right integrity and uh, dedicating time for YouTube. That's again an interesting question. I started. I never started this YouTube channel to make money because even being a research scholar, the government was funding my project. So money was never an intention, at least in the initial phase. To be honest, right? Uh, my thought process when it comes to YouTube is that you should actually start a YouTube channel if you like what you're doing.
Exactly.
If you're starting this for the sake of money or right being a famous YouTuber, you might stop it somewhere in the middle. You will not feel that motivation or encouragement to continue for a very long period of time because on digital media, even including YouTube, you need a dedication and persistence to become successful. It won't happen over a night. Maybe to rarely, right, one or two cases it will happen. You become a successful YouTuber in one or two YouTube videos, but mostly you need dedication and persistence to become a successful YouTuber. So my advice should be start it if you like to show what you are actually doing, not for the sake of money. If that is the case, then generally you will continue doing that. Even after being a faculty, of course time is a problem, but whenever I find some time, I still dedicate to that for my YouTube content. The reason being, I know that at least a few people are getting benefited of my content, and if I can contribute to the society through that way, maybe that's also kind
Exactly.
of inspiration for me to do more content.
Okay, sir. So, what was your most memorable moment during your journey at life?
Okay. So I was here in 2021, basically an era of online classes.
Yeah.
Now, what's the most memorable moment? Now, when I joined here, a couple of students identified me as a YouTuber of Aswin, right? They were not knowing that I'm a faculty or something like that, but some of them have actually identified me as a YouTuber. They asked me, "Are you the Aswin of that YouTube channel where finance contents are being uploaded?" I said, "Yes." I mean, that's just kind of a memorable moment because it actually shows us the power of social media, including YouTube. I was not knowing as a faculty, but I was knowing as a YouTuber, a content creator. So that was actually kind of an inspiring moment for me as far as the memories of Christ is concerned. Again, as I said, it was during the era of COVID, so a lot of colorful events were not happening. But when I came here today, I see a lot of colorful and vibrant events happen. I do miss the campus life. And somehow I take it on to be a part of that crisis in 2021.
Even though it was small, I guess the time you had it right was something that gave you the path you are at today.
Exactly, exactly. I agree.
So, sir, you told us all about your education and qualification. So, any tips and advice you want to give to students like us?
See, being a younger faculty, right? I am also actually on the receiving end of advices. Sort of advices are coming to us. And Being students, we never liked the idea of adulthood. Do you
Yeah.
like adulthood? Sometimes.
Sometimes,
Sometimes we hate it.
yeah.
Okay, whatever it is. And I'm not a senior faculty, so I don't have a lot of advice. What I think is that coming to the younger students here, I would say uh, you stop listening to these motivational gurus, be it YouTube, be it social media, everywhere now we can see a motivational guru. Stop listening to them. Would be one of my first advices. These guys, I mean, a lot of advice are being thrown into the air. Some poor students get into the prey to that. But again, now these days, you might be seeing that a lot of people are criticizing this 9 to 5 job. How do we actually get out of that rat race? These are the discussions happening on the social media. They're saying that there is no life and creativity in a 9 to 5 job. It's all about quitting the job and right, exploring the beautiful world. I mean, of course, there is a psychology behind all these things. But again, even being at a 9 to 5 job, you can have your own life, creativity. Nobody is actually preventing you. If you are say, um, interested in learning more, you can also take up a lot of courses. So, I mean, straight away we cannot say that something is wrong. Right? If it doesn't work for one person, it doesn't mean that everything is wrong. So that would be one of my advices. And yeah, so basically a 9 to 5 job may not be so much of interest to many people in the beginning of their career.
Mhm.
Now, I must say that you have to start somewhere, isn't it? When you graduate, there's no point of waiting for the perfect job. There's no such thing as a perfect job. The salary may be low, but you need to start somewhere. And salary should not be the only criteria which is preventing you to take up that job. Now, whenever you take a job, make sure that either you learn or you earn cash. If any of these two things doesn't happen, don't take up that job. But again, learning is also part of the experience, right? Even for future studies, a lot of universities are giving importance to your work experience. So, the moment you graduate, don't sit idle. Of course, you can be an entrepreneur, but again, there is no problem in taking up a job which may not be the perfect job which you were aspiring for. And also, a lot of people are afraid of being lonely at the top. If they are somewhere on the top, be it in education institution or career path, they are being afraid of being lonely. Now, sometimes you can be lonely at the bottom. So, a lot of these things are somehow connected, and maybe this could be right one of the advices which I have to give for the younger generation.
So, what are your future plans
Okay.
after this?
So in India, the moment you get a job, right, two things are certain from the parents' side. One is Shadi, the wedding, and LIC policy. LIC policy. Shadi, no plan. I mean, soon. Okay, so there is no immediate plan of getting into the Shadi thing. I'll wait for some more time. But regarding the other things in life, I teach a lot of finance, especially for the corporate related stuff. So personally speaking, I also aspire to be an entrepreneur of some kind. Not necessarily that it should be a big company or something like that. Be it a Pani Puri vendor, not an issue. Maybe in the future somewhere I would love to pursue that side of the coin, where I explore the challenges and the adventure life of entrepreneurs. Maybe not in the say immediate future, but again in the future somewhere I will pursue that avenue. And again, I'm done with these studies, right? I was continuously studying till my uh, doctoral program. So now from studies, I want to take some kind of break. No immediate plan of going for postdoc or something. Maybe after a few years, I will also explore some avenues where I can actually continue my future research and studies. So this is about the future things, and again, these are not predictable, especially about future. We are finance students,
Yeah.
a lot of unpredictable, and that's the fun of life as well. So let's see the way it comes.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank you so much, sir, for coming to Christ today, getting your experience and memories back. I hope it was a good time for you. And thanks a lot for actually answering these questions so patiently and in a manner that I think each and every of our student would connect to. So I really want to thank you for this, and I hope you to see you back soon.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. It was actually nice talking to the younger people like you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you so much.